Hello and welcome to London Kurdish Film Festival, the global edition. It's our 12th edition. We are celebrating our 20th anniversary. So welcome, and I hope you're enjoying the films. We have two programs, classic films and new films, new releases. So today I'm joined by a very special guest. He is the director of the Colourless Dreams, Hewno Bêreng, and I'm with Ali Konar. Welcome, Ali. How are you?
Thank you. How are you?
Thank you. So thank you very much for participating in this Q&A session.
Yeah.
And then I have lots of questions for you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the English. You know, we are not native speakers, so you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So your film was completed in 2018, and then since then we've been trying to actually stream this film, but because of the pandemic last year, we was only able to show like short films. So although we had your films, because we couldn't do like the physical festival too. So finally we come to term, and we are able to stream your film. It's a lovely film, and it's in the new program, and also it is running for competition too. So I wish you good luck. So can we just start with the story of the film? How did you come up with the story? It is your own story? Is it from a book? Can you tell us and share with the audience, please?
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you very much for all friends, workers, crews of the festival. Thank you for giving us this opportunity that we can show our film to the audience, global audience, the Kurdish audience. Thank you very much for everything, first of all. And yes, I've shooted my film 2018 and screened in Turkey in many festivals and many articles written on it, blah, blah. And I get this question for many times, but this is the first time I'm going to ask in English. So I'm sorry for my broken and unsafe English.
So it is your first English interview.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah,
okay, go on.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually the story is a little bit based in real, happening, a little bit in just imagination, a little bit just reality of the cinema. But the thing pushed me to shooting this film is actually reality things. And the film passed in 1990s in Turkey and Kurdish region. And that time I was, and also I was child, and some, how I can say, and some memories, some flu memories, some blunt memories, and turn around my minds, and something I remember very good, and sometimes just I imagine it, and I write it scenario and then shooted it, and now we are here watching the film.
Congratulations! So you cut it short. But I remember asking you about the story, and you told me that you actually had like 4 stories, but because of the financial difficulties, you decided to make one story in this film. How was other stories? Why did you choose this one?
Yes, actually, it was process of the writing. When I was writing that, I wrote it 4 different child stories, and I wanted to put together it. But then when I went to the place to shooting the film, and I understand I'm very, very awkward. I'm very, very, new one, because it was impossible. And I say that just reduce it to. I say it myself, and I can just shooting just 2 stories. And then I started preparation and making small group, small crew, and I looked, I couldn't, it's impossible. And then I received just one, this one, it's called, the Colourless Dream, the film. And I made it because when I started, I wanted to finish it. It was difficult for me. It was my first film, and I am trying myself everything is new, everything is difficult. So I decided that just one is enough. And I shooted it in Diyarbakir in 2018, and then bring it to Istanbul, make post-production. It almost 5 months, and 2080 it was released. It was screened at the Istanbul Film Festival, and it was the premiere of the film also. Yeah.
Okay,
Short.
congratulations. I mean, you made me feel like, you know, some people, they don't know how to swim, but they decide to jump into the ocean to swim. So, you know, I know that you have studied, you know, filming, and you are from, you know, the school that I have studied, Marmara University. So theoretically, you was ready, but these things you need to learn actually while doing it too as well. But I congratulate you because you are very brave, you know, to come up with a story, and then you didn't do any like short films, you know, to practice few things.
Yeah.
You straight away went for, you know, feature length fiction film. So tell me about, you know, your education. And you said, I think you've been to the Italy as well. You know, these things, these are, you know, preparing yourself actually. So how was the school like at Marmara University, and also your education in Italy?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, when I was at university, I was studying journalism, and your study, it's called Marmara University. And after 4 years, 1 year, I got cinema lessons, because until third and fourth year, I understand I couldn't be a journalist in Turkey because of my perspective, because of my ideas, because of my, you know, looking at the world, something like that. And by the way, when I came to the university, you know, the people discovered themselves, and we can find something, and something like that. It's person things, actually. After that, I went to the Italy. As soon as I finished the university, I went to the Italy for 1 year. I went to the cinema institute. It's called Roberto Rossellini Cinema Institute. Actually, it was not a school, because I don't know how exactly I can explain it. There is not schools like that in Turkey, but they call that Roberto Rossellini Cinema Institute de
I mean, Rossellini is a big name. Did you study in English or in
No,
Italian maybe?
no, in Italian, because already I learned Italian in Istanbul. I'm a very good at language.
Oh.
Yes, yeah, but I can't speak. I can't find the opportunity to talk or something like that. Anyway, I went to there. One semester, I just went to the school, and then I went to the bibliothèque and just look at Italian cinema, and after 1 year, I come back Istanbul, and I want to just start to make film. Before it, I was thinking making maybe a master in Italian. They say that laurea specialistica. But in my heart, I want to just make a film, not intellectual stuff, something like that, be a critic or be a something else. So I talked with Roma Tre University before I went to I went to a university to make a master do. But they told me you can come the next year and blah blah. I didn't want actually, because I didn't know what exactly I am doing, because I was very alone and I was a very young guy. Then I came to Turkey and started working for two projects, one long and one long fiction, one long documentary, and started to working for TVs, for many TVs, blah blah, to make my own life, to get by. And after 6 years, I shooted the film, my film, because I believe I couldn't find the proper budget, proper how I can say,
production company.
conditions. Yes, it's impossible, and I take a risk. Actually, it's not a healthy thing, but the cinema in minimum. At minimum, you have to find opportunities to make proper job, because if you couldn't do that, it will not be sufficient for the world, because the world, everything new things, everything very good things you can find in cinema world. Anyway, I finished my film, and I said, and I sent to the festivals, and especially in Turkey, it was very, I can't say it be sensational or something like that. People loved, people write it so much and get many hours, blah blah. And now I'm here. Now I shooted my second film. Yeah.
Yeah, before you you just want to tell me everything and then finish and go. No, I have more questions.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna talk about your new project, but
Yeah.
at the end of my questions.
Yeah.
So my other question, the script is very important in a film. So it's the skeleton of the film, I would say.
Yeah.
So when I look at your script, the character development, the music that you choose. So can you tell us a bit more, the type of the cinema you are a fan of? What did you try to do with your film?
Yeah, actually, I love stories in cinema. For me, the best important thing is stories. I don't know why. Maybe it's my character. Maybe I don't know. But I love stories. Stories about feelings, stories about the people's, what they lived, what they confronted. And it was my, mm, I think my best part of my job. And because the people, when sees the critics, when sees that, they say that, yeah, this is a high, high, how I can say that, it's feeling is very powerful. They say that, people generally.
Yeah, I mean, cinema is an art form. So
Yeah.
basically, it is you can get connected with the audience
Yeah.
through your characters, the emotions,
Yeah.
the universal, feelings, because we are all human beings. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter which language the story in. As a human being, we can get connected to a story, even if we don't know that language. So I congratulate you. I think it is actually for universal audience. And is this story? Is it your own story? Did you say?
Yes, it's my own story. I am a screenplayer, and my own film, I'm writing myself. About its story is not exactly not exactly the real thing, not based on the real things,
Okay.
but partly real things. It's
So obviously you have witnessed things in Ahmed,
yeah, of
in
course.
northern Kurdistan,
Yeah.
like any other children.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this story. I mean, there's a young character, the main character, and also it's about his trauma actually. So his mother is being killed in front of his eyes, and then he's getting nightmares. So he has a family.
Actually, in the story,
Yeah.
the mother is already dead, but many other persons killed before of him, in front of his eyes. And as another thing, I'm not from Ahmed. I'm from Bengal. It's near the Ahmed, very near it. And the guy is from my city, and I find him very randomly. Actually, I find him and I take him to the Ahmed, because it's the background of the Ahmed.
You mean the main character, the child?
Yes, Mirza,
Okay.
main character. Yes,
So
I got him.
Bengal is another
Yes,
city
yes.
in North Kurdistan, and you born there. So we have a connection with you, because
of
I
course,
was there for
of
two
course,
and a
of
half
course.
years.
We all Kurds, not just Bengal. We all Kurds, just part of part of us from Ahmed. So, and anyway, I got the guy and went to there because of the Ahmed is a very historical city, you know, and for cinematography is a very good place, and just you can make you can use it like a plateau, and especially there is a area it's called Sur, and
Yeah.
I went to there, yeah, and I shooted that. Before actually, I was a little bit nervous because I was believing maybe they couldn't understand me when I started to shooting all with all that, you know, amateur guys, ordinary people, you know, like me. And you know, I encouraged, just I find it, they know my story too. They feel it. And I think the most important part of that and the film, the success of the film starts from there, because I find the guy, the little guy, just just grow up like me, and he knows what I'm saying when I'm saying look that, when I'm saying do that, do this, something like that. He understands very well, and the other guys, because the theme, the topic that I want to make a film, they know that, they feel that. So I think this is my luck.
Okay.
And I
Uh,
shoot it.
uh, yeah, I think you know, most, if you look at most, you know, Kurdish films, you can see that, you know, the professional actors are really limited, but
Mm,
there are really, really good, you know,
mm,
actors, you know, not professional actors, real people, and
mm.
they do like a great job. So I congratulate you. I mean, your main actor is Mirza, isn't it, in the film, his name?
Yeah,
And then he did a great job. So who is the only professional guy in your team, in your, I mean, actors?
yeah. Just one person. It's called Bilal Bulut.
Yeah.
He had been some films before us, and we invited him. We worked with him for 9 days, actually 11 days, and it was good everything except him. No one person in the crew that was, you know, been in another project before us. But yes, we made it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
just, you know, if you look at the big budget, big productions,
Mhm.
it takes, you know, they take their time, you know, when they shoot.
Yeah.
But due to your limited budget, so you had to finish your project in 2 weeks. How was that? Was it difficult?
Actually, before everything, I want to just make a thing clear. Believe me, when I'm saying it was a limited budget, I didn't want to say, "Ah, there is no money and we couldn't do. If money would be, we could make better," something like that. Just sometimes when you do something, when you write, when you a piece of art, something, when you shoot it or when you write it, and people ask how you do it, and I'm just rapidly and just say that they have to know in which condition that piece of art, you know, produce it, or,
It's,
you know, come out.
yeah.
Just because of I'm saying, yeah, it was very difficult, everything difficult for Kurdish cinema makers or filmmakers, I believe that. So there is no, for us, the thing we couldn't, I cannot say the thing we couldn't expect it. Already we know that, and we started and we made it. So there is no problem in this situation.
Okay, great. So uh, let's talk about, you know, the Kurdish film industry, or if there's
Yeah,
any industry.
yeah,
What's your thought, you know, on Kurdish cinema? Now
yeah,
that this year we have two programs. One of them is classic program. So over 45 films
yeah.
we were able to fetch and show to the global audience. And when
Mhm.
I look at that, most of the filmmakers, directors also, they are producers, they are also, you know, script writers. So they do lots of things by themselves,
Mhm.
because there is no funds for you to actually apply for to make your films come true. So how is the Kurdish cinema do you think in that sense? Do you think there is a market? Do you think there's an industry?
Yeah, of course. For Kurdish, I think there is two big problems. One of the financial, and it's the most important thing. If we have to solve in some way in this problem, because the cinema, if you have not a budget, a limited budget, you cannot making a film is very important. Yeah, this is the most important thing. And the second one is, I think, is to point of view for me. For example, when I was university, I see the Bahman Gobard's film at cinema sala, and when I see his film, and I said I want to be a Kurdish director, because I just suck at that. I love it. I admired it. The language is totally Kurdish. The character is Kurdish, and the world is Kurdish, and everything is just I understand. What I am want to do in the art as a Kurdish, as a Kurd. Now, as a beginner, as a new director, for me is a very important thing too. Because if you have money, if you have a budget or financial blah blah, maybe you can shoot 100 films in a year, and maybe 5 or 10 films will be very, very good films, and it can be they can be screened in the world festivals and can be visible, blah blah. But if you have no financial, you have to point of view, and you have to push yourself to make a quality piece of art, something like.
Yeah.
And
I think if you look at Yilmaz Güney and all other Kurdish fantastic.
I know him very well. I love him very well. But my inspiring was Bahman Gobadi, because of his elegance, because of his language, especially language. When you say it Kurdish cinema, you have to say what you say. For example, there is they also, especially in Turkey, they say that there's Turkish Kurdish cinema or not. Of course, there is Kurdish cinema, but before everything, you have to give you a name. For example, if you are Kurd and your language is Kurd, your topic is Kurd, yes, you have a cinema, you have a Kurdish cinema, and you have to insist it in your cinema, your topic, your feelings. And so this is a very important for me, and I'm doing my film in this point of view.
I can congratulate you. When we was selecting all these films, we try to put some criteria. First of all, we said we have to choose films that directed by Kurdish directors. And secondly, we are looking at all the angles, like the language and the locations and the story. So then you have a clear cut which kind of film can be Kurdish in the Kurdish classic category. So thank you for having this similar thought. So the other question is, the markets. So now that you're making films, the only opportunity for you to send your films to the festivals. It could be, festivals in Turkey. It could be, worldwide, or London Kurdish Film Festival. So, do you get any money in return when you send to the festivals? How do you make a living if you don't get money from your, piece of art? So how is that process?
Yeah, actually, if as a director, if you couldn't, get by some other works, it's very and you are doing they called art cinema or art movie, they say that, or festival films. If you're doing something like that, or independent films, it's impossible you can do that for Kurdish directors. If you couldn't be sponsored by a culture of ministry, something like that, or the World Cinema Fund, something like that, you can't. But before everything, you have to calculate it, all your things, to do not be frustrated, disappointed at the end of the film's process. So I'm doing a very limited budget. I know what happened. so for me, it's whatever had happened for me is not a surprise actually. For my first film, yeah,
So you prepare yourself, but what I'm
yeah,
saying, you
yeah.
don't
No,
really
no, I
have
understand.
like,
Just continue, please. Just
okay,
yes, I shoot it. I couldn't do, get what I am invested my film exactly.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
but I get hours and hours bring you some money, some other things, blah blah. But I can say the 50-50, or just it's meet it, but you cannot uh, uh, make
make a
yeah,
living.
but just because of I am making my film is very very limited budget, very
Okay,
very limited
I see.
budget. But it's a bad thing because the director cannot cannot accord it, cannot discover his borders, his
Yeah,
skills borders. This is the bad for director, for all other film crews, for the
yeah,
others, yeah, players. If you have no money, you cannot give money to the player, to the
yeah.
other departments. So this is a bad thing. Yeah.
Okay, I hope one day you're gonna make great money, and then you're gonna make great films.
Yeah.
It's important, to carry on with doing, this work,
Mm.
um, for the Kurdish cinema, for yourself, for the audience. Unless you make all these fantastic films, we can't have festivals.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
so thank you very much, for participating
Thank
to our festival. Let's talk about a bit more about Kurdish cinema. Is there any? I mean, I know we don't have a country that we can have a cultural ministry that they can fund all these projects. So this is happening in all parts of Kurdistan, not only Bakur,
yeah,
and we don't have like strong production companies or distribution companies. So is there any way that you discuss with other directors,
yeah,
to have a solution on this?
yeah. Actually, the I don't know what I say
I
because
know
I
you.
know
I know.
someone and I know someone and they are my very new friends. I don't want to say something bad,
Uh,
but yes, I believe there is no professional thing. There is nothing for me, from my point of view, actually, because and by the way, there are, and but I couldn't find one. For example, as a director, as a new director, you have to find a producer that believes director that he can do something, and
yeah.
director also believes producer that he really can find a little bit money, and this is the job is important. Then if we get something, if we make money, we can share it. So this is very very important thing, and there is nothing here though. I don't believe it, production or something like that. Actually, maybe it was Muhammad Abi, maybe if he see this, maybe he will, he will angry. Anyway, there is nothing something like that. It's a very important thing. So
Yeah.
and some Kurdish director maybe can find, but until they find some budget, they totally unfortunately has to give uh, give
So
an
they have to do it
calculation to the
themselves.
to the donor, to the
Yeah.
owner of the money. So actually I don't like just searching what happened, why they, how they find the money, blah blah, because it's a very very different part. Because as
Okay.
something, when I'm looking that, when I'm seeing something, when I'm hearing something, I don't want to be part of that process and I said, yeah, a little money and try to something one day,
Okay.
can do something better, because
No, the reason that I ask, for the unity, say for instance, this
yeah,
year, we are doing the festival with the partners. So it's
yeah,
a global festival with 10 other partners
yeah.
all around the world, you see.
Listen,
So
listen. I just wanna make things. Actually, I don't believe it. Be together or something like that. but I'm appreciated you. I'm honored with your this project, and you do the global festival, Kurdish Film Festival, and I'm really want so much that Kurds every world of the world see my film. But I really don't believe that stuff. For example, just a minute, in 2018 in the Bakur, just one film was shooted in Kurdish language, and it was mine, and I sent to do, for example, a festival, and they don't show it
No.
because they say that it's already shown in Duhok Film Festival. Actually, they didn't say, but I learned someone else's. It's a Kurdish film, and it's a quality piece. It's a one quality piece, and you have to show your people. The festival is not everything. The name or this other thing is not very important thing. If you have, it's miraculously, if you find something good, you have to, whatever, why you don't have to forget why you are here or why you are doing your festival, something like that. And the national cinema is something like that. Even if you don't like it, you push it, you show it, and you make it visible. It's a very important thing. For example, I really just calculated, I counted. I know my film, for example, was seen for 10,000 people because of this, because of the box office. I know in Turkey and the other festivals, my films been screened. This is a very important thing for me. This is the sincerely thing. We of course always talking about unity or something like that. We don't have to be unity. We just be sincere. If we just be honest, if we just see something if we know just what our missions, I think problem will be solved. This is a very important thing. So your festival is this maybe this year the best things for Kurdish cinema or Kurdish cinephiles or all of Kurdistan. I think it's I'm really appreciated it, honored to be here now with you, because whoever does think it did a very good thing, I'm sure.
It's an El-Kefef, London Kurdish Film Festival initiative. And
Yeah.
then we have approached all other Kurdish festivals.
Yeah.
Some of them accepted, to go ahead and to work together. Some of them didn't. So it is free. And what we are trying to do, we are having like 2 programs. We wanted to actually show all these Kurdish classic films, and they're made from 2000 to 2017. And for the new programs, we the cut off from 2018 to that. So it's like preparing 2 festivals. Do you understand? So we are celebrating this young festival, London Kurdish Film Festival. It is our 20th anniversary. It's still young, but we want to show all of you guys films. We want to show to the global audience, not to only the Kurdish, audience. So that way, you may catch, new audience, maybe some other production companies, they will know about you. So this is actually for the benefit of filmmakers and the festivals. So I do like to thank you that, you've been participating to this fantastic program. Did you have a time, to go through the films to see what was on?
Actually, a lot. Most of them I see before because I'm also a follower of the Kurdish cinema in one way, and I'm something like how I can say, I just like a camp, something like that. I'm writing my new project, and it's almost 14 days was finished, and first draft I almost finished, so I couldn't do some. But tomorrow it will be finished my job, and I want to see some films, especially Siddiq and Plank.
Panther,
Siddiq and Panther and Plank. And there are a lot of films actually I want to see now. Tomorrow I will start it.
There is a lot. So let's that you jump to the your project. Can you tell us some information about your new project? Is it a fiction, feature
Yeah,
fiction play?
yeah, of course, because it was selected by the Istanbul Film Festival again, and it will be its premiere. Its festival's 14 years, and already, we talk about some people's. Of course, we can talk here too. It's a
Yeah.
story about a woman that uh, wants to make a wedding dance for his lost sons. That her sons was killed by the Turkish police
Mm.
very youngly. So she has a very weird, very strange idea that she wants to realize it. She wants to make a wedding dance, and it's about her, why she
Okay.
wants to do something like that. And
Okay.
now we are, yeah, yeah.
So now you're about to complete it, isn't it? So it's
Yeah,
in the
already,
process.
yeah, everything is complete, everything is finished, and now just it will be screened in 20 May, 29 May, and it will be screened
Okay.
in the festival. Yes, that's my
Uh,
second. Yeah,
I'm so excited to see it,
thank
So
you,
it's
thank
a
you very much.
feature length film, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, feature. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
feature, and also a little bit like Colourless Dream, a little bit, and it's true story, a little bit magic, a little bit, all memories. I want to work on memories and past
Okay.
things, past life, and a little bit reality. Just I don't want to look like a cookie, but I just want to make a quotation
Oh,
from Proust. Proust, Proust says, the remembrance thing of the past does not necessarily to be the remembrance of they were. We
I
just
see.
can change a little bit because I believe we have a lot of things to tell as a Kurdish director.
Yeah.
Just
There are
we have to
yeah.
know this, the basic of principles of this art. And I know many friends in Istanbul. I know many young directors. They are making short films, and I believe if they survive, if they if they resist enough, they will do their first films.
Okay.
I know 7 8 guys, and they are very they are very independent guy. They are very clever. They know what they are
Yeah.
want. I hope they
Yeah.
shooting
Yeah.
film. Yeah,
Well, yeah. Once you give opportunity to people,
yeah,
Kurdish people have, many stories,
yeah.
to actually make a film about and then and show it to the global audience, which is very
Yes,
important because we want to be part of them. This
yeah,
is our this is our soft power,
yeah,
to appeal to the global audience.
yes,
So, feature documentaries or documentary filmmaking is very popular in Kurdish uh, film sector.
yeah.
Uh, uh, why did you choose fiction, not documentary? Is there any
Actually,
reason?
I love dramas. I love
Love drama.
drama. Actually, yeah. I want to make something, remake. I want to, for example, as I said, sometimes, for example, uh, can I make another quotation from Proust?
Yeah.
It looks like cookie too, but he says sometimes, for example, when you drink a cup of tea, and for example, sometimes the a rest piece of tea that you're drinking in your cup can can evoke your memories. So
Okay.
for me in the world, the most important or the most powerful thing to show your heart, your feelings, is the cinema, is the drama. Actually, I really want to be I want to make dramas, and I want to understand the dramas, and I want to be, like big directors. I
Yeah.
want to tell big stories. I want to make films in 2 hours, 3 hours. And so this
But
pushes.
are you interested in the history? To
Yes, so
tell.
much. Yeah, so much, so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to showing this. I want to be a Kurdish director, a good Kurdish director. I want to be known as a good
Good.
Kurdish director. Uh, Actually, this is very important because we are in a condition sometimes we couldn't say who we are exactly for us, for Kurds. Only Kurd knows. I believe only Kurds know the situation. Maybe some foreign audience maybe doesn't understand what I'm saying exactly, but I know my story. I know what I'm saying, and I believe the Kurds know what we are saying.
Okay.
So very important for the Kurds.
Let's tell to the global audience, who are you as a Kurd?
I'm a,
Explain.
I'm a new Kurdish director making Kurdish films. I'm trying to be a good director. I'm just this. Yeah. And
So
uh,
you speak Zazaki, don't you?
yeah, I'm speaking Zazaki and also Kurmanji. I'm okay.
Kurmanji as well.
Yeah, but my
So
yeah, Zazaki, my
so
mother language is actually Zazaki dialect. But I
so
know Kurmanji too.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you know there are different dialects in Kurdish language.
Yeah,
So
Kurds have a lot of language. Yeah,
it's great though. You know, once you speak one language, you know, especially your native language, your mother tongue,
yeah,
you will be able to speak, you know, other languages too.
yeah. I think it's a very important and in my film I think it will be an linguistic effect on the people, especially on the Kurds. And also as a director, I think it's important to be, I know the stuff of, art has no language, blah, blah. But I think it's very important for Kurds that use their own language in their, piece of art, in their novels, in their films. And this is a very
But
important thing.
you know, when you look at the communication style of, you know, Kurdish people, until now, it was like oral communication. So we sing, you know, we have dengbej that we tell the story, and the written history of our language. We have books, but when you look at the novels, we don't have enough novels.
Mm.
You know, in a country, if you have more novels, if you
Yeah,
are doing fiction,
yeah.
so it will help you actually to have stories from the novels. What do you think of, you know, Kurdish novels? Do we have enough?
Yeah. Of course, not enough, but there are a lot of good things. Especially in Zazaki is very few. I know very well all of them, and also in Kurmanji I know a little. Actually, I don't think it's not. There are, but of course, when you compare it to the population, it is not enough. You know, it has be more. But it's a little bit about the people that has to understand the importance of this thing. They
Yeah.
have to understand the people that a folk has to their own literature, their own novels, their own films, because the language of this area, this period of the date, originated this.
Ali, yeah,
Yeah,
we have quite films on this language issue, so
yeah,
I hope you can watch them.
yeah,
That they are really fantastic. You know, they explore it really nicely. What
yeah,
the language, your native language, means to you. You
yeah,
know, how important to learn your own language, and
yeah,
how important to make your film in your language. You see,
yeah,
because you do not, you know, express yourself fully in
yeah,
other languages, even if you try hard. You know, so
yeah.
I'm with you with that. So I hope you can enjoy, you know, all the films in the program. So hopefully soon we will learn who is going to win the prize, you know, the award. So
Yeah.
I hope it will be, you know, one of them will be yours. Uh, and I'm going to ask you a personal question. This is from me. So
Yeah.
if you make a film, can you make a film about Alisher and wife?
uh, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I will be a, I will be a good director. Maybe, and maybe one day we will do that story too. Maybe some
Okay.
others Kurdish directors comes and new directors comes. I believe they think like us. They don't hate. They don't afraid their language, their past,
Yeah.
their everything. And if Ali not another one come and do, I hope the most important things, we have to do right things.
Yeah.
We have to right stance. I believe this. Yeah. I
Okay.
hope one day.
So, how do you feel about online festivals? So this wasn't our choice. So we
Yeah.
end up doing our second online festival because of the
Yeah.
pandemic.
Yeah.
But there are opportunities when you do online festivals, but also you have benefits of physical festivals. Say,
Yeah.
for instance, if it was a physical festival in person, I would have seen you. We could have talked and touched. That
Yeah.
personal communication with me or with the audience. But
Yeah.
we end up doing in festival, and this technology is evolving, so it has to be part of our work now, whether we are doing filming, whether we are doing festivals. So what do you think of, online festivals?
As I said, for me, actually, this is the best thing of the year I heard, because that's the global festival, Global Kurdish Film Festival. Thank you again for all your crew, all your colleagues, friends, from me, because it's really very very important. Because I know many people there are, and they want to see, for example, just my film, and they can't do, because I couldn't sell any platform. Even it will screen in 2K, but uh, I couldn't find a place to sell my film or to give my film. It's very important to be visible.
Yeah,
It's very important. But in any way, for Kurdish cinema, it's very important, and also because we have no platform, we need more festivals. Kurds need more festivals to see each other, to make new things, to make an interaction. It's very important things. And of course, festival is very important for the world cinema too. But they have country, they have a lot of things. If 1 year or 2 years, if festivals won't be, is not so important things. But for us, it's important. I believe
yeah,
this. And of course, never can be like physical festivals, because when you go to the festival, for example, I went to the Duhok 2 years, 3 years ago, and I was very, so much feeling on my heart when I see, that part of Kurdistan is free, and I know Kurds from Kamishlo and from Slimani, from Mahabat, many Kurds there, and I say, hey, you just cannot make a film for Duhok Film Festival, because you find many Kurds from everywhere, and and also I find many friends. I meet many friends, and I see their stories and their point of views from European Kurds. It was perfect experience for me, and really, and you can find yourself, in many respects. Yeah. So it's very important for us. Thank you again, you, your friends, all Kurdish, London Kurdish Film Festivals.
yeah.
And we
I
want to
mean,
be invited by you physically too.
no, actually, it doesn't matter whether you do physical festival or online festival.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work needs to be done, and
Yeah.
all of us, we are volunteers.
Yeah.
So we are like working day and night, like making 3 shifts, sleepless days
Yeah.
to make this happen. So I'm very pleased that you've been participating into this edition. So hopefully next year, if it's okay, then we can have maybe another physical. We can start doing physical festivals again. And I wish that I will see you there.
Yeah.
So I am congratulating you, and thank you very much for being with us, Ali.
I thank you, all of your friends, to you. Thank you very much for everything again and again. A million thanks. Really, I'm very honored. I'm very happy to be with you.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Ali. So
yeah,
congratulations. So I wish you all the success. Hopefully next year we
yeah,
will be able to show your new film. Thank you.
yeah. See you next year. See you
Bye.
next year.
Bye-bye.
Bye.